What's up, everybody? It's Saturday night, and as such, you know what time it is. It's time for another episode of Have a Conversation After Dark. Listen,
Hello,
before
everyone.
we get into this, I was about to say hello, but since you said that, now the next thing I'm going to say before we get into this is share this with someone.
Sure, share it.
Here's the reason why we want you to share. One, we want to get it in front of more people. Two, we want people to be a part of the conversation. So if you're watching live right now, hit the share button on whatever platform that you're watching this on right now and share it with some folks. We got Darren is in the building. Darren was in the building early.
Yes. Thank you, Darren.
While the intro was going. Darren, what's happening? Thank
up?
you for being here. Appreciate that. Good evening to you as well. We got Jerry Howard. What's good, fam?
What's up, Jerry?
In the house with us tonight as well. Got a great conversation tonight. If this is your first time joining us, if you've never heard of this show before, this is Have a Conversation After Dark. Have a Conversation After Dark is a time where we take conversations, take topics that might be taboo. I don't really believe in that word, but I'm going to use it so you understand what I'm talking about.
Why?
Why I don't believe in the word taboo?
Yeah.
You should be able to talk about everything.
Why
are some subjects taboo? I don't believe in that word.
I see what you're saying, but I mean, it is a word.
It is a word. I just don't. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Sylvette is in the house as well. What's up, Sylvette?
What's up, Sylvette?
Thank
my
you for
sister.
thank you for being here. So, Have a Conversation After Dark. We take some topics that might be taboo, some topics that maybe aren't talked about a lot, topics that typically these topics come from out of our coaching experience, out of our experience with clients. Some of them come from other things, like tonight, this is coming from something else.
Where should I put this?
This?
Go ahead. Put
it just like that. That's good. tonight's coming from somewhere else, but here's the goal of these conversations. The goal of these conversations is to get you all talking. Because here's the thing, and I'm going to say this at the beginning, I'm going to say this at the end. Conversation is a catalyst for growth.
Mm-hmm.
Conversation is a catalyst. Conversation is a catalyst for learning. Conversation is a catalyst for bonding. You should be able to have these conversations. It doesn't have to be an argument. Doesn't have to be, you don't have to agree at the end of it. Just get to hear each other's heart on a situation or hear each other's thoughts about a particular scenario, right? So
It's
that's
a good
what this
way.
is about.
This is a good. These shows are good catalysts for conversation.
They are. So here's what tonight's topic is. We're going to
Mm-hmm.
jump right into it. If you saw the description, the topic is entitled, wow, I just forgot what the topic is. Insecurity or intuition.
Insecurity or intuition, people.
And in the description, here's what I put in the description. Listen, we're bringing back the platonic friends of the opposite sex conversation. Those of you who follow us and have been to some of these Saturday night shows know that we talked about this a few months back.
Yeah.
We're bringing it back up again. And just, you know me, I'm the fire starter. If you guys know, Darren is one of our regulars. You know, I'm going to be the fire starter. So in the description, I put, what's the big deal? What's the big deal? Are you insecure? The feelings that you feel and when your spouse has a friend of the opposite sex, are those feelings insecurity or are they intuition?
Because, you know, women's intuition is a real thing.
Women's intuition is a real thing.
Do men have intuition like that? I don't think so. I don't think that they were created that way. Maybe they have it, but I think not to the extent or to the heightened level that women do. I could be wrong.
Maybe it's called something else. I don't know. Maybe they do. But tell the story that is the backdrop for this conversation.
Yeah. So I saw an article that said that this husband and wife, I think they actually said the husband's age was 35. I want to say, I think I read that. And his wife or whatever, married to his wife, and the husband went to a workshop,
mm-hmm.
maybe for his job, I'm not sure. Met a young lady there. She was 25, I want to say, or 23, 20 something. They met. They started talking and whatever at the workshop and realized that they had the love of animals in common. They both have dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And so they decided to take their dogs on a dog date. And so since then, they've been going on weekly dog dates.
Okay.
Just the husband, this other woman, and their dogs.
Mm-hmm.
They come together every Monday and have these dog dates. Excuse me. Wow. Since then, this other woman has started texting the husband.
Okay.
And she also bought him a birthday gift.
Now, what kind of text? Or what kind of text are we talking about? Just hey, how you doing? When we get into the dog park again?
It didn't specify. It just said started sending him texts.
Okay.
So it didn't specify. That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know what kind of gift it was. I wonder if that matters.
So Vet said that already don't sound right.
And that's what the wife said. The wife was like, what's going on here? What's that all about? And so I think, and this is my opinion, I think that even if nothing is going on,
mm-hmm.
it's just best. I think we should do best practices. You don't want to leave any doors ajar. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
And so for me, I don't necessarily think that that's a good idea.
Okay. I'm laughing. Darren said, here we go. Darren said, here we go.
I don't know. I
What's up,
think,
Tabby?
hey,
So
Tabby.
Tabby was in this conversation that we had about platonic
Yes.
friends of
Yes,
the
yes,
opposite
yes.
sex when we had it a while back. Tabby, we were revisiting this conversation
Because of an article that I
because of
read.
something that we read, and I'm just being a fire starter. So in the description, I was like, "What's the big deal? Is it intuition or is it insecurity?"
I think it could be, it depends on the person and on the couple. Maybe she has a reason to be insecure.
Darren said, "Walk her own dog."
Walk her own dog. I mean, I understand dog dates. I get it or whatever, but
Does the wife not love dogs? Good question. We don't have that context, but that's a good
you
question.
know what? We do have that
Oh, you do?
context.
So she.
She said, the wife said
Mhm.
that she's not as much of a dog lover as her husband,
Right.
and the husband does most of the dog taking care of. Most of whatever needs to be taken care of for the dog, the husband does the majority of it.
So why does she have a problem? And obviously we don't know this, but I'm just being again, I'm being the fire starter tonight. Why does if she doesn't do the dog stuff, what's
Somebody
the
got to do
problem?
it. It could be either or. Maybe she has a reason to be insecure, a legitimate reason,
Hmm.
or maybe it's an intuition thing, or maybe she has an illegitimate reason to be insecure. Maybe it's all on her.
So as we unpack this, let's go back to the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
First off, first key question. Is it, and for those of you like Tabby who have been a part of this, just kind of bear with us, and Darren who have been part of this, bear with us because we're gonna go through this again. Is it wrong for him to be hanging out with this other person at the dog park?
I just think it's not a good practice to do
Why?
because you don't. I had said this to you and our kids upstairs because our kids were like you and like, what's the big deal? They're
I'm gonna
just.
bring that in too because I think there's a key to that. But yeah.
I think that it's possible, maybe you just don't want to leave anything to chance. This is a young woman.
Hmm.
Why is she so hell bent on keeping this thing regular, you know,
Hmm.
with meeting this guy who she knows is married? It didn't sound like she had any interest of meeting the wife at even that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, what's really going on here? Like you said upstairs, what's your angle? Are you
Mhm.
being sincere? Is it truly about walking the dog, or are you trying to get in there somehow?
Right. And you asked me a question that I'm going to bring up in just a second. Tabby said you do know acts of service can be a person's love language, which could be an issue. Interesting.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. That's a gateway.
Yeah.
Uh
Right. Right.
Sylvester said I think it would be different if they were part of a dog walking group.
Group. Yep. I agree.
Darren said right.
I agree.
Sylvette also said you can tell that the relationship is evolving too because now there are texts and a gift.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
So you asked me if the shoe was on the other foot. You asked me if it was you and you met somebody and you were hanging out with them, would I feel some kind of way?
Mm-hmm.
My answer to you was because I know you
Mm-hmm.
and I trust you, I wouldn't have any problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
I would, however, in the back of my mind, be like, what's his angle?
Right. And maybe that's what the wife is saying.
Now, if let me be 100% transparent. The reason why the reason why I would ask the question, what's his angle,
Mm-hmm.
is because there's a great possibility in my past that I had angles.
Yes.
Now, can we also be transparent and honest?
Mm-hmm.
That's insecurity.
Yeah.
That's not intuition. That's insecurity. If I side eye this dude because I know how I am,
That's insecurity.
that's insecurity.
Mm.
That's not intuition.
Yeah.
Now, that's not to say that intuition doesn't come into play because if I feel something in the middle of the night, somehow I wake up and don't feel right about something, then yeah, I'm gonna say something to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's intuition. But me just side eyeing the dude like, hey, what's his angle? Because I know me,
Yeah.
That's insecurity.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that.
Now, I am being a fire starter tonight, so keep that in mind as well. Um,
Nothing new there.
Married with benefits is it is not wrong to hang out at the dog park, but not let it go
Any
any further.
further? Yeah, that's a
Not let
good
it go any
point.
further.
That's a good point.
Because let's think about it. We meet people all the time. Now, this granted, this kind of goes further than just, hey, how you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're hanging out consistently. Um, the texting is a
It's borderline.
yeah. I mean, what are they texting about? We can, you got to speculate. Darren said there's no need to be texting. Tell each other when they're going to walk the dogs. Leave
And
it
leave it
at
at
the
the
dog park.
dog park.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Uh,
then the next thing too about it, I agree that it is not wrong to go to the dog park, but it shouldn't go any further than that. But how connected are you getting at the dog park? Even if that's
yeah.
all it is, because, you know, emotional affairs
Emotional affairs. Yeah,
is
it
a
could be
thing.
talking. So let's be clear about something. Anybody who is new to this is not about us giving advice. So you hear me saying stuff, I'm saying stuff on purpose to stoke the fire. It doesn't necessarily mean that I believe it,
Right.
but I'm going to say it because I want to stoke the fire. Now,
Right.
having given that disclaimer, can we really dissect this platonic friendship thing?
So, for those of you who just joined, what's up, Leonore? KB, and that's my grandson.
We got folk on Instagram.
So, for those of you who have just joining, I'll give you a really quick version. I saw an article where this husband met this young lady at a workshop. They both have a love of dogs. They both have dogs. They started going on weekly dog dates. And since then, this young lady has started texting this man who's married and also bought him a gift for his birthday. The wife is kind of side eyeing the whole situation and is not 100% sure how she feels about it. So we're talking about, is this
Is it insecurity
insecurity on the wife's part,
or
or
is it
is this
intuition?
intuition, which us women have at a greater
Tabby
sense?
said, "Oh, I missed the story. They are low key dating at
They're
the
low
dog
key
park."
dating. See,
Okay,
and
so
that's what
hold on,
that
hold on,
was.
hold on,
That was my first
wait,
thought.
wait.
That was my first thought,
So
Tabby, is that they're low key dating, like an emotional affair, right?
yeah,
That was my first
but
thought.
are we projecting that?
Why they got,
They
why
just
is,
at the dog park.
but why does it have to be them? Why? Why does it have to? There's a million and one females who have dogs. There's a million and one males who have dogs. Why can't it be the husband finds a couple of dudes and they all meet up at the dog park for their dog's sake? Or why can't it be that the young lady has a bunch, or one or two or three females who have dogs? You can meet them at the dog park. Why? Why does
Mm.
it have to be them specifically? That's what I'm side eyeing.
Sylvester said, "See, but there that is from the outside looking in."
This is true. Sylvette is the doc here. See, she's the psychologist.
Yeah.
So
Tabby said, "This is out of order." This is out of order. Sylvester said, "I don't think neither of them see it that way,
mm,
but that is where accountability comes in."
comes in. Yeah. Wow.
Uh,
Yeah. I mean, I guess they probably don't see it that way.
Laughing and rubbing on each other's dog. No, ma'am. See, so here's the fire starter in me. Here's the thing I want to throw on the table. Here's the reason why I said, is it insecurity or is it I'm gonna put this over here. Is it insecurity or
Can't
is it
feel that.
you can't feel that at all?
Well,
Is it insecurity or is it intuition? Here's the reason why I said, because if we're really being honest, right? And I had this conversation with Ray right before we turned the camera on.
mhm.
If we're really being honest, Is it because of what our view is and how we feel about certain things and how we look at certain things that we would side eye this when it might not be anything wrong with it? Now, think about that for a second. The younger generation sees this completely different, which is evident in the conversation we had with our two of our children this evening.
True. That's true.
My son was like, "Yo,"
our son said, "I would divorce.
I'll be through with her. Like you can't be that insecure. Like you can't.
Right.
Like
He
I
was
can't
like,
be with somebody like
why
that.
can't we just go to the dog park? Why can't it just be we're going to the dog park? I would leave her. She's too insecure."
And that is very representative
of
their generation. Like they see things differently. It doesn't. And that's why I said in the description, what's the big deal?
And our daughter pretty much said the same thing too. She was like, "That's ridiculous. They're just going to the dog park. Why can't it just be that?"
So Tabby said, "I wish a state trooper woman would give my husband a gift for any reason, and he's married, and I don't know her."
Thank you.
Listen, the gift is a stretch. I can admit that.
Yeah.
The gift is a stretch.
Yeah. And then our daughter, Stephanie Tab, said, or was it you? Somebody said it depends on what the gift was. And to me, that doesn't matter.
I think that was Stephanie said that. Depends on
to me, it doesn't matter what the gift was. You're giving my husband a gift?
I think.
And I don't know you?
Yeah. Darren said, "I think it's my thoughts for myself." Okay. Married with benefits. Yes, it's the same way that if a man was walking out of the store with flowers, people say, "Oh, he messed up," and not, "Oh, he's doing something sweet for his partner." Yeah, I do think. Listen, I'm not here to really kind of pinpoint what's right and what's wrong, but I do believe, if we're being honest, the way we look at a situation is we look at situations through the lens that we have created for one reason or another, right? And sometimes there might be a possibility that it's not that. Maybe. Let's get to the comments. Tabby said, "Nope, this makes room for a snake to be in our garden." Got it.
I agree.
Sylvester said, "But you see the female
in her
20s and the guy's in his mid-30s, right? So
let's assume the wife is around the same age. So maybe it means nothing to the single girl in her 20s.
Yeah.
I
could see that because think about what our kid said. So for her, it ain't no big deal.
Yeah.
I met this guy. He's cool. He got a wife. I ain't really trying to do nothing. That's just who I am. So think about this, right? Think about this. I'm gonna put our daughter on the spot. So Stephanie has a really good male friend.
Yeah.
Like they've been cool since
high school. Yeah.
Right. If Stephanie were to get married, does that mean that she can't hang out with dude no more?
I don't know.
Clearly, think about that. Clearly, it's been proven that it's platonic.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that it means that they can't hang out, but I think, though, that if that were to happen, she would need to be, or maybe it does mean that. Maybe the way they hang out would need to change. Maybe it would need to be, my husband is coming too. We can all three go out to eat or something like that.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying? Because you have to,
So it's on him. It's his responsibility to incorporate the wife in some way or another.
I think so. I think that he should. I think that in this scenario that he should.
Sylvette said it's the married man in his 30s whose wife is not settled with this, and I am more concerned about that. Okay. Steph, her husband, would have met her friend, and they could all be friends.
Yes.
So that's kind of saying what I said. She agrees with you. So let me ask you this question. So I can have a platonic friend that is a female, if you are a part
Part
of.
of that relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you need to be a part of the relationship? You don't trust me?
It's not that I don't trust you, but I think that it's important for a spouse to make his or her presence known to this single person and to see how, as a married couple, we are, and to see that we're good. This is how it is.
Hmm.
Don't even get any ideas. Even if they don't have any ideas, I think it's important for other people to see that we are a married couple and we behave as a married couple. So, people single people can look at us and be like, they have a good relationship.
Okay.
They're solid, they're strong, they're whatever, they're together, they're united, they're committed to each other. I think it's important for people to see that.
Okay. So, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, let me stick a pin here real quick. This is not about us giving advice, but I am going to say this real quick. The reason why I'm on the other side of this issue is because part of this show is really about being an example
Mm,
in the way of how conversations can and maybe should go, especially when you're on two opposite sides of a scenario. You could have this conversation with your spouse, and it doesn't have to be knocked down, not what is it, not drag out, whatever the phrase is. It don't have to be that,
mm-hmm,
right? But you do need to have the conversation
mm-hmm,
because if you don't, then something could happen
mm-hmm,
where you might get knocked out.
mm-hmm.
so, so you want to avoid that. Um,
Married with
Darren's. Did I put up Darren's comment? Darren said I agree. The spouse would. Uh,
have to
you
be
have to
involved.
involve your
Have to
spouse.
involve your spouse. Married with Benefit says that doesn't matter. If they want to slide in and they see you're a happy couple, they're still going to try.
I agree with that.
I agree with that.
I agree with that. I
But
agree
I
with that.
still think it's the responsibility of the married couple to present themselves as a united front.
Okay.
I still think it's the responsibility of the married couple to do that.
Tabby, if you still here, if you still in the comments, can your husband have a female state trooper friend if you are involved in that friendship?
Mm. A single female state trooper friend.
Okay, now
Is that what you
you
mean?
put a caveat in there. Okay, single female.
Oh, but you
Yeah, yeah,
didn't
no,
mean
no, you
that?
could put that. I didn't add that, but yeah,
I
for
thought
for
that's
all
what
of
you
you
meant.
who are married, for everybody who's married in the
Man, these
comments, can your spouse have a platonic friend of the opposite sex if you are involved in that friendship? If would this be okay if he was bringing his wife to the dog park? If his wife was on the text string?
Mm-hmm.
If she asked his wife, what is he like? Because I want to get him a gift. He's just a really nice guy. I don't mean anything. What can I get him? Can that happen?
I'll be like, buy me. I know what he wants. Buy me a teddy. Buy me some lingerie. That's what he likes.
Mm,
How about that?
mm, mm, mm.
That's what I would say.
Tabby said, yeah, let me know, Tabby. Because if we told the story differently, would it be okay? Married with Benefits said, my spouse can. We have that trust level. Sylvester said, oh, absolutely.
Why is she necessary? Why
Oh
is she
man.
necessary? I agree.
Why is any friend necessary though?
It's not any friend. It's different. Come on.
It's not different.
How is it not different? It's different.
Well, okay, so it is different, but is it different if you're involved?
Tabby said, why is she necessary?
Is it different if you're involved?
It's not different if I'm involved. I don't know. I kind of.
Now, the back and forth that you're having with
Mm-hmm.
thinking about that. Let's go back to the title of this. Is that intuition
Is it intuition
or
or
is that
insecurity?
insecurity?
I don't know that it's either one. What I'm thinking is either one. Definitely not insecurity.
Okay.
But I don't think it's intuition. I think for me, it's just not leaving any doors ajar.
Okay.
Like all the enemy needs is a narrow edge of a wedge. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Just a quick thought by
Hmm.
this single person is just a quick thought, like, oh, those pants look really nice on him. Just a quick thought that she may have never ever thought to think before.
Okay.
You know, it just takes one little quick thought to turn the whole
Um,
situation.
Let me. I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench in there in just a second. Daniel said, "I think it's okay to have friends who are couple, but never safe to have a friend who's single of the opposite sex. As a guy, I know how we think."
Yeah, that's what you said.
Hmm.
That's what you said.
Sylvester said, "We can't be in every space with our spouse, so I agree on the trust
Trust level.
level."
Yeah,
Tabby said, "It's neither insecurity or
it's
intuition; it's wisdom."
wisdom.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's either or either.
Daniel said, "I don't think it's insecurity. Then it is to secure and protect your relationship." Okay.
Yeah.
So listen. So check this out. Check this out. Married with Benefits said, "No way. Even as a couple, there's still a chance. There is still a chance. There definitely is still a chance." So let me tell you. So to speak to Married with Benefits comment, let me tell you a crazy story. I think you remember this crazy story. Andrews University. There's two couples at Andrews University, and I can't remember their names, so I can't even put them on blast because I don't remember their names. But you'll remember this story. Two couples at Andrews University were friends.
Mm-hmm.
Both couples get divorced.
Mm-hmm.
They end up switching.
I remember you
You remember
telling
that
me about it, but I don't
the
remember
husband
them.
ends up with the wife, and vice versa.
Yeah, and
So
they
there
got
is a chance.
married, right?
Yes. So there is a chance. You're right. There is a chance. However, let me throw this in there. So let's say it's not. Let's say that it is not as blatant as me going to the dog park with this person, but I'm friends with this person anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So think about my time in the corporate space.
Mm-hmm.
My time in the corporate space, I worked for a company. There were 6 buildings on the campus of this corporation that I worked for. Easily, the woman to man ratio was easily 4 to 1. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, easy. It could have been more, but I'm being conservative when I say it was 4 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, I have a whole bunch of females that I operate with. Matter
Mm-hmm.
of fact, for a long time, I was the only guy on my whole team.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you develop friendships, you develop things. Now we go to lunch, and the company that I work for, they were big on having stuff after lunch and happy hours and all this kind of stuff. So you go to all this kind of stuff. Did you feel like that then?
Did I feel like
Did
what?
you feel like did you feel any kind of way then?
No.
Why?
I think because it was more of a group setting. It wasn't just you with one person ever.
I'm trying to think. I think I've been to lunch with my boss by herself.
I didn't feel that with your boss.
Okay.
I didn't because yeah, I think you did. You
Hmm.
I didn't feel that with her.
Yeah, we went to a game.
Yeah, you went to a
Yeah, yeah.
game, to the Orioles game.
Hmm.
I never felt that with her.
Okay. Why?
Um I'm not sure why. I don't know if it was because she was always talking about me and asking about me. I'm not sure.
Mm.
It I know that she was always talking about her husband or boyfriend or
Boyfriend.
wherever he
Mm.
was,
Mm.
like always.
Hmm.
And I just never I never I never thought along those lines. I don't know
And
why.
you never actually officially met her.
Not officially, nope.
I don't think you met anybody
I
from that
did meet
company.
one person. I don't
Okay.
even remember her name. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I never
Interesting. So why? So that
Mhm.
that is the question that I'm asking. Why is that different?
I don't know. I don't know why that was different. I don't know.
Now,
Shoot, that was your boss. We needed
go,
that money.
go. We're gonna make some exceptions.
We're gonna make some. No, honestly,
Get this
I don't
paper.
know. I'll overlook that one.
That is hilarious. Sylvester said, then comparison is beginning to take place, and that's not a good sign either.
Mm, wow.
Okay. Married benefits, even in the group setting, there can still be flirty eyes or afterwards. So why are you cool with group and not alone?
I think I agree that is true, but
Hmm.
I think that alone
Hmm.
makes it easier. One person to one person makes it easier to. I think when it's just me and another single person, it's easier for something to happen as opposed to if it's a group setting. Like other people are around, you're not going to necessarily be as bold as you might be if it was just a one-on-one. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. But I think that
Or maybe you'll be more strategic. Maybe you won't be as bold, but you'll be
be
more
more
strategic
strategic in a group setting,
in
you
a
mean?
group setting. Yeah, because you don't want to be bold because you don't want to put yourself out there. You don't want people to know. So there might be hand signals and
The
signs and
flirty
eyes
eyes.
and that kind of thing, right?
I just think that it's easier, and maybe in the one-on-one setting it makes it more exciting and more daring that way, and you become
Maybe.
more bold
Maybe.
in that setting.
Here's what I'm gonna say, just as in the way of just being controversial. I sincerely believe that the way we approach these things is really based on our level of
Of
insecurity.
security or insecurity.
Yes. You were not insecure in any way about what was happening at the company that I worked at for,
Yeah.
where there were literally 4 women to every guy.
Yeah.
And I touched every building every day.
Yeah.
So I saw all of them
Hmm.
and had great relationships and people asking me about my cologne and folk calling me on purpose to come fix stuff so they could see if I had on the same cologne I had on yesterday. It was never insecure.
Yeah.
So I think it's dipped in our level of insecurity. Now I'm saying that to be a fire starter, but I kind of halfway believe that.
Mm.
I kind of halfway believe that.
Yeah, you could
It
be
was
right.
different because it wasn't consistent and there's no continuous communication today. I'm with you. I buy that because there is no continuous
True.
communication today.
Very
I
true.
don't keep in touch with her. You're right.
Very true. Yep. Very
You're right.
true.
I do have her contact, but we have not been in contact
Yeah.
in about a year and a half. That's true. I'm with you with that,
Yeah, that
Tabby.
makes sense. That
So
makes sense,
so
Tab.
so based on what Tabby said, if she and I were still texting now, because we were texting then too,
Hmm.
if we were still texting now, would you be okay with that?
I I think I would question it a little bit more. I would be like, what? I think I would question it a little bit more.
But you don't think that that would be just a byproduct of just the fact that we've worked together for that period of time and just established that relationship and just decided to remain cool afterward?
It could be. It could be because honestly, that could happen to me too with my ex boss.
It could.
Yeah. So it could be. Mm,
It could.
yeah.
And that's the shoe on the other foot because you
Right.
guys are real cool.
Yeah, that's true.
Now I've met him.
Yeah.
That's the
This is
difference.
true. You
I
have
have
met
met him,
him. Yeah.
right? I don't know. I think
Wow.
there's some insecurity there. I think there's some things we got to deal with internally. Now, having said that, let's be clear. I'm not saying that anything goes.
So what?
And I'm saying that if you feel like it's intuition,
Go
then you
with
need
that.
to act on it.
Yeah.
Number one. And regardless of whether it's insecurity or intuition, boundaries have to be set, period.
So yes, I agree. And I think that it comes down to talking about it with your spouse,
Mhm.
determining how your spouse feels and what the boundaries are going to be.
Mhm. I
I
would
think
dare
that's
say
what it
this too,
comes
though,
down
and this
to.
it's not. I always say I'm not going to give advice,
I
and I
know.
always end up doing.
I
I will
know.
say this too, though. we really have to begin to have conversations with our spouse
Mm-hmm.
that really uncover our insecurities.
We need to be able to be vulnerable with our spouse about how
Right.
secure or insecure
Right. Because
we feel.
I'm not using the word insecurity like it's a bad word.
Yeah,
People are insecure about stuff. That
yeah,
it just is what it
it
is.
is.
But I think we need to have conversations that expose those things so
Mm-hmm.
that we can craft strategy around them.
Yeah.
I don't think we do that. I think we just act off of it
Mm-hmm.
and we expect that to be the boundary that we've set up.
And then I think too that when we have this conversation
Mhm.
about what our insecurities are, like if I tell you I'm insecure about something,
Mhm.
I think it's really important for you then to not kind of blow off what I'm saying and be like, that's ridiculous. Why would
Yeah,
you even feel that way?
I agree with that.
You know?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Darren said the temptation would be greater for a one-on-one lunch date.
I agree. Yep.
I
I
I
agree.
I agree with that too.
Do you?
I do, but I think it depends on the person. You got to know your spouse.
Mm,
You got to know your spouse. Because I listen, if I'm being 100, we're transparent. If I'm being 100% honest, of those 4 to 1, 2.5 of them were attractive.
mm.
So you're talking about a campus with
2.5?
almost three,
Half.
almost three. I didn't want to give it a whole 3 out of 4, but almost 3 out of 4 of them were attractive. So you're talking about on a campus of just under 3,000 people.
Yeah.
You got all these women walking around that
Yeah.
look good.
Yeah.
My boss, and here's what's crazy, right? And folk who know me, I guess I'm not gonna say no names, but people who know where I worked and know the people, I guess, just think whatever you want to think. But people would comment about my boss. People would comment about the girl that sat behind me. People would comment about the girl that sat beside. I was surrounded by women, so people people would comment about the girl that sat behind me. People would comment about the girl that sat on the side of me.
Comment what? What do you
Just,
mean?
I mean, because of how they looked.
Okay, okay, okay. I
So
got you.
so we were always around that, right?
Yeah.
So what I had to do was I had to make sure that I didn't feed into conversations
Mm-hmm.
that would put me on the same level as some of those other dudes.
Mm-hmm. I see what you're
Even if
saying.
I agreed,
Yeah.
I'd just be like, hey, dude, you wild. Like,
Mm-hmm.
stop playing. Let's get in this meeting. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not talking about that right now. You know what I'm saying? But I get it. I get how that could be a problem.
Yeah.
But you got to know your mate
Yeah.
and you got to establish, you
Yeah.
gotta establish some parameters, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me get to these comments. So Tabby said Rick is taking food to his female coworker. No issues there. Okay. Would it be different if the guy with the dog and the lady were like 30 years
Apart. Oh, that's a question my daughter said too. Like, what
or
difference
different
does it
race?
make? I,
So
I don't know that it would make a difference,
I'm gonna say
in
yes.
my opinion.
I'm gonna say yes. It'll make. Let me tell you why to make a difference for somebody else, and it might have been Married with Benefits said this, but somebody earlier in the comments said that no, it was Savette, I think it was. If the girl's younger, she ain't even thinking like that.
But she might be.
She might be, but there's a good chance that she's not.
Mm.
Because especially in this day and age, things are a lot more open than they were when we were growing up.
Yeah.
So she could be laughing, joking and all this kind of, and think nothing of it.
Mm-hmm.
Think that it's harmless. Even the things that we have decided are not harmless
Mm-hmm.
would be harmless to somebody in that generation.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
So then the question becomes now, if they're wide apart in age, if the wife is the same age as the husband and the husband happens to be older, that's a conversation they have to have, because he's got to be on guard because he thinks differently. So the stuff that's harmless to her will be triggers for him.
Mm.
So she may think nothing of, flirting and, oh, you smell good. Oh, Olive, you smell so good today. Let me see what you got on. Wow, you good. And I'm thinking, yo, why is she all up on me like that? And she
Yeah.
ain't thinking nothing.
Right.
She gonna go do the same thing with the next guy
Right.
in the next pod. You know what I'm saying? Like she ain't even thinking about that. But
Mhm.
now when she leaves me, I'm thinking like, hey, she's, she feeling a brother. She ain't feeling you, dude. She gonna say the same thing to the next guy. But that's what I'm saying. So I think that's why we really have to be. We got to be open and honest about the whole thing. I think is really
Mhm.
what it
Boils down
what it
to.
boils down to. Tabby said that that was some chicken he would eat at lunch. She loved how it smelled. I believe I
You
used to
used to
make it.
make it. Yeah, see?
Yeah.
In groups, there are people who feel that as a challenge to rub the leg. Oh, under the table.
Yeah, that's them wild meetings.
Yeah.
Y'all sitting in them wild meetings.
Right.
Listen, the company I work for, I could see that kind of thing taking place.
Mm.
I could. Now I can't say that I've ever seen it take place, but I could see it take place because
Mhm.
that company we work for, we love to eat. We
True.
celebrate anything with food or with a happy
Anything.
hour.
Yep, sure
Like,
did.
man, we had a great day today. All right, let's go happy hour. Like they
Yeah.
went to happy hour for anything.
Yeah.
Man, the sun is out. Let's go to happy hour. It didn't matter, right? They
Mhm.
celebrated anything. So I could see how, the combination of alcohol and familiarity could be a problem too. And this kind of group craziness. But yeah, I don't know. I do believe, with all of that being said, the reason why I titled it "Is It Insecurity or Intuition" is because I believe that much of the social norms. Now, I'm not saying that they're not things that we should. They're not. I'm not saying that they're things we should not be doing,
Mhm.
because we are people of faith. So
Mhm.
obviously we're going to live by a certain standard. But some of the social norms that I think we've constructed around how relationships should appear
Mm.
are often steeped in insecurity.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
Remember the movie Indecent Proposal? That was an age difference, and we know how that turned out. True.
I don't remember that.
You see that movie?
I don't think I did.
Darren said my wife said she liked y'all and she would like to watch it. Oh man, that's awesome. Thank you.
Say it again.
She'd like to watch it together. She likes us and would like to watch the show together.
Oh, thank
Appreciate that.
you.
Shout out to Darren and wifey. Appreciate that. Thank you for being a part of this.
Yes,
Listen, the
indeed.
whole goal of this, because we're about to get out of here in a few minutes, the whole goal of this is for you to have the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessary for us to tell you what you should think and how you should act, but these are the kinds of conversations that, now, we can attest to this. When we sit in front of our clients and the mayhem that they are trying to navigate is often due to the fact that they did not talk about the scenario.
Yeah.
So they did not know what the other person was thinking or feeling. They just acted on whatever their insecurity was or whatever they thought their intuition was,
Yeah.
and blew the whole thing up.
Yeah. No conversation was had.
So it's really about having a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It is about having a conversation. No worries. Darren said, excuse the typo. No worries. So it's about having a conversation. So now we're about to leave, but let me just say this. And I already know this is wrong, but I just want to say this just to always share stuff that I hear is shocking, right? So I'm watching this video of this girl, and those in the hip hop community will know this name, but she's called Superhead. I forgot what her name is, but that's what they call her, Superhead. So she apparently she was in a relationship with Wayne.
Who?
Lil Wayne.
Okay.
I was watching an interview with her not too long ago. I don't know when the interview aired, but I was watching it a few days back, where she said that because of the kind of relationship that she has with Wayne, that any other man that comes into her life must either accept him as a part of that relationship or bounce.
Comes into her life in what way?
In any way.
Except
boyfriend,
him?
husband, doesn't matter.
So he's a friend. I don't
I
understand.
I don't know what he is, because it got even the interview got even crazier, because she said that Wayne would call her at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. She would answer the phone, and she was like, "My man got to be okay with that." And if he
Wow.
was like, "Hey, I'm at I forgot what she said. She named some place.
Hmm.
She was like, if he was like, I'm at the place, then I'm a go. And he
Wow.
got to be okay with that. And to make matters worse, sometimes I'd be gone for days.
Wow.
Just wanted to throw, some current events
That's
out
what
there.
we should have talked about.
That's
Well,
what
maybe not, because
yeah,
what is
but
there to talk
there's
about?
nothing to talk about. That's
Yeah.
stupid. She's a
Yeah.
dummy. Like
Oh, come on.
let's just call
Don't
a
call
spade a
people
spade. That's
dummies.
ridiculous. Like that, and the dude who
Wow.
accepts that,
Yeah.
I can't
Talk
even
about
I can't even
insecurity.
I can't even say the name that I would call him. Like,
Talk about insecurity
yeah, the dude that
issues.
accepts that is an idiot. So,
Wow. Oh,
but
come
anyway,
on. Don't call people
I'm
names.
sorry. Wait, I'll take all the names back. But I felt that. Like I said what I said. I'm gonna take it back for the sake of my wife saying don't call people names, but that's ridiculous, right?
Wow.
So we're not going that far ever. Let's be clear about that. We're not going that
Mm-mm-mm.
far ever. But I
Wow.
just wanted, the reason why I even brought that up is to give you the opposite extreme.
Not at my house. I know that's right.
To give you the opposite extreme, number one, of what we were talking about.
Yeah.
And number two, to show you where the culture is
Yeah. The culture.
around
Yeah.
marriage and relationships today is bananas.
Mm, 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 mm.
It is bananas. Now, why did I do that? There was a method to the madness, because I'm segueing into something before we leave. The culture around relationships today is bananas.
Mhm.
And as such, we need prayer.
Yeah.
So, starting tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., every day for this entire next week, we are going to do just that.
Yeah.
We're going to pray for marriages. Listen, you don't got to sign up, you don't have to register. There's no catch. We ain't trying to get no clients or business. You literally show up. We're going to go live in the same platforms that you're watching this on right now. And we are literally just going to be on for 30 minutes
Mhm.
praying for relationships. Every
Yeah.
day there is a topic. If you follow us on social media, you can see what the topics will be. Every day there is a specific topic
Yeah.
that we are going to talk about, give some scripture around, and say and pray around, because
Mhm.
it's crazy, right?
It
So
is
when you're
crazy.
having these conversations, after you bond, after you grow, after you
Mm.
learn about each other, you got to craft some strategy and then put that in front of God.
Yeah.
Now, I said I
Yeah.
wasn't going to give no advice, but I'm going to say that. So listen, share this with your folks every day starting tomorrow at 6 a.m. for 30 minutes. We will go live. We will talk about the topic. We will give some scripture references about the topic, and we will pray for marriages. If you
Mhm.
miss it, if you don't feel like getting up at 6 o'clock, that's fine. You catch the replay. They're not going down. Matter of fact, you can watch last year's week of prayer right now. It's still
Mhm.
up. So we're going to do that. Make sure that if that's something you are want to be a part of, if prayer is your thing, that's not everybody's thing, and I get that and I respect that. And if it's not, that's cool. But for those of you who that is your thing, here's an opportunity for you to be a
To join
part
us. Yeah.
of something else. Hey, look who's here. What's
Oh,
happening,
my
family?
sweet friend
Listen,
Melissa.
the Melissa and her husband are doing God's work as it relates to
Incredible.
relationships, man.
Incredible.
They are killing it out there, just
My
encouraging,
sweet friend.
uh
They're
coaching,
getting ready to go
seminars.
to, I don't even want to get it wrong. I want to say Africa.
Man, that's awesome. Listen, shout out to
Missionary work
Melissa.
out
Thank you
there.
for being here as a part of this. Yeah, we listen. So we get on here every Saturday night, and yes, we throw out the taboo topics, and yes, we throw out the crazy stuff. But understand that there is a there is a way to live this thing out. And for
Yeah.
us, a very significant component of that way is being able to put some stuff in front of God. So
Yes,
if that is your
absolutely.
thing, make sure that you are a part of that. Again, that is starting tomorrow morning, October the 1st,
October.
6 a.m.
Can you
Eastern
guys believe
Standard
it?
Time. 6 a.m. We will go live on YouTube and Facebook. You can catch the replays there. All right. So listen, that's it. We out of here. Again, this is another episode of Have a Conversation After Dark. Conversation is a catalyst for growth. Conversation is a catalyst for learning.
Yeah.
Conversation is a catalyst for bonding.
Yeah.
So you should be having conversations.
Absolutely.
And listen, I dare say nothing should be off limits.
Yep.
Why would you not want to learn the person that you have chosen to spend your entire life with?
Yeah.
It's like you buying a car and not
Taking
looking at all the
advantage
features,
of everything. Yeah.
not learning all the features. It's like you buying a computer and only using it to, watch
Check
YouTube,
the weather.
which is what some people do.
Yeah.
To be honest, but listen, you can't run your relationship like that. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
So have some conversations. Listen, we love you guys. Thank you for being here. You guys make this thing what it is. The last thing I'm going to say is, for those of you that are in the Maryland, DC, Virginia area, we actually want to do one of these live.
Yes.
Keep that in prayer. We're trying to figure that out.
Working on a location.
Yep. So we want to do one of these live where we will have a live audience. We will still stream it, but we'll have a live audience when we do it. And provided, which I believe God will allow this to work out, but I'll say provided on how well it works, we will start doing them in other cities.
Yep.
So put that on your prayer list. Listen out for that. You will see one coming, Have a Conversation After Dark, coming live in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area first.
Yeah.
And then we'll figure out what cities we're going to go to after that. All right. Listen, we're going to get out of here. Thank you for being here. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening and the rest of your weekend. For those of you who will be joining us at 6 a.m. tomorrow, we welcome you to be there with us. If you don't join us, catch the replay. All right. Listen, Sylvette said, love the idea. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Married with Benefits said, come to Myrtle Beach. Hey, listen, I would love to come to Myrtle Beach.
We would love to come to Myrtle Beach.
Yeah,
we love it there.
We would love to.
We'll put that on the tour. We'll put it on the tour for sure.
To do that.
Absolutely.
Matter of fact, we might be able to make Myrtle Beach happen. I'm thinking right now we can do cool. Yeah. Okay.
I just thought of someone.
That might work.
We could do that.
Yeah, that might work. You're welcome, Darren, man. Thank you, man. Thank you for being a part of this. Listen, we're going to get out of here. Blessings to you all. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend. And we will see you next week.
Will we?
Yep. No, we won't. We won't.
No, we won't. We
will not be here next week. We'll be here the following week, I believe.
Will we?
Oh, Lord have mercy.
October is a really busy month.
Is a busy month for us, but we're not going to leave you hanging. We'll let you know what's happening. But next week we definitely won't be here next week.
Correct.
Unless something happens. I don't know.
Nothing's
happening. Can we go live from where we are? Probably not.
We could. No.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll let you know. Keep posted. If you're not following us, make sure that you're following us. Thank you for all your support, guys. Listen, let me say last thing. I got to plug this. If you want a t-shirt, all right, the t-shirts we have on are our own t-shirts. We would love support in that way. If you want to support us in a way, you can get a t-shirt. The t-shirts, if you go to pressandsew.com/Denali, you can get a t-shirt. We would love your support in that way. It's at the bottom of the screen, pressandsew.com/Denali. All right. I promise that is the last thing we're going to say. Blessings on you. Make sure that you're having a conversation, and we'll see you next time.
Good night.